Hi there, I'm Go Via or Go Home. I'd like to welcome you to my brand new layout series. This is for my module build, episode 1. We're going to tackle our bench work. In this episode, you're going to see how I build it, start to finish, each one, and going to give you the measurements and the tools that I use and the techniques that I have taken to kind of put this thing together. So it's been a long trip, but hopefully this time around things work out a lot better. I'd like to thank you all for sticking around and for the support. First though, I did mention that I would have some new content for you here, so here we go. This is my brand new open start to my videos. The opening. I've got a friend, and he actually, I've known him since grade 3, he actually did the intro song for me. There you go, that's the word, intro. Brand new intro. Wow. So basically, his name's Ian. He has his own recording studio where he teaches lessons and he does cool things like this. He works with a lot of different bands. When I reached out to him, you know, because he knows me, he knows the way I am, he was actually able to do this to a T, and I couldn't be happier. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Ian's information is going to be in the comment section below, just in case you ever want to learn any instrument, because literally he's that good. So take a look. Okay, so we just got back from the Home Depot. Basically, I bought a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and I was able to get all this out of it. What I did, well, there was a bit extra, but basically I got the 4x8 sheet cut into 6-inch strips. So there was about seven strips that were 6 inches, just like that. So these are all 6 inches, this way, wide. And then basically, I think that was about 7 strips that we got in total that were 6 inches high, and then one that was just under 6 inches. So that's going to be a scrap piece or something that we can use for supporting somewhere else. But basically, from those 7 strips, I was able to get 4 that were exactly 4 feet long, 4 that were 3 feet long, which is this one here, and then 2 feet 1 inch or 25 inches, and 4 that were 3 feet 1 inch, which is also 37 inches. So basically what we're planning to do, we have to make a box. Well, in this case we're going to make 4, 2 different styles. This box here is going to be able to fit in a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of styrofoam, and that is going to be a 3 foot by 3 foot piece of styrofoam. Now I don't have the styrofoam for that one yet, but I was able to get a 2 by 8 slice of the pink foam, so I'll be able to foam up these ones for you here. So let's take a look at how we're going to assemble them. Now yesterday I had a bit of free time, so I did cut a whole bunch of these up. These are going to be our supports for the corner. Okay, so these pieces here, which what I would typically use for my legs, obviously, but much longer. It's 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches squared. So it makes for a very perfect corner piece. I've cut them down to 5 inches. Because the height of this is 6, I'll actually have my 1 inch foam should sit right on top, and the 4 corners will hold it more or less, but yeah, and then I'll be able to glue it down that way. So I'm going to start attaching some of these, and we're gonna bring this thing together. I've just got some regular wood screws. Found like a huge bucket in my garage. So they're all the same. All these black screws here. And they're long enough to obviously go through the plywood and then go into the wood here, but it won't go through. So, all right. So like I said, there's many different ways that you can do this, but this is just a little bit of an update here. Again, this is just how I'm doing it. Seen many different ways, and I think that this way works best. Now I got the one side done, obviously, and it's pinned in there. I got the bracket there, but it's not attached. Same with this end. So this end here is it's fully good. I just got to attach that one there, and then one is completed. Okay, so we're looking at the underneath of the module right now. We've got it all tacked on. The foam fits in there. It's perfect. But we need to make the cross bracing for the underside. I had, again, a bunch of scrap pieces left over. Actually, I had one long one that was about just over 5 inches wide. So I cut it down to 2 foot lengths because it's exactly 2 feet from there to there. So 2 foot lengths. You'll need probably about 3. You know, one at each end and then one in the middle. Just a bracing. And then again, I've got more of these. Cut a whole bunch of these to 5 inches long. So we're just gonna drill one to each end here using 2 screws, and I'll show you how it's placed. Okay, so this is the piece that we just attached together. Now, depending on how what thickness of foam you're going to use, and how the top of it is going to be set up, obviously you want to make sure this is all pre-planned before you kind of build it. But if you're just kind of winging it, and you'll probably want to do about, at least if you're doing the 1 inch on top, make it about 2 inches down, just like that there. And then you just have to put a support piece for the foam, and then you're going to drill it in from, obviously, on top here. It saves you a bit of room on the faces, like on the side faces, so that you can drill out the holes for the screws and the wires to go through, to feed through. And you're going to want to do this 3 times, like I said, 1 at each end, 1 in the middle, and then obviously right there as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how I do my leg casings. This is basically the part where it'll hold your leg up, I guess, or to the module so it doesn't move around. So I've already cut out all my pieces. Did a bunch of them just so I'm not cutting a piece every time I need it. So I've got a bunch of these, which are 4 inches tall by 4.5 inches wide. Also, you need a bunch of these that are 4 inches tall as well. And then I've got a couple of these as well, just because of the way the module's set up. I think that's like, what, 2 inches? Let me just double check. It's a 2 and 2 1/4. So that is solely based off of the fact that where it's going to go, basically. So technically what it's doing is it's going to go like this. So you put the small piece there, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach this piece to that, and then you're going to take your other side, which I've already drilled together like that, and then that goes on top, basically. And then your leg would go into there. You would have to do that 4 times. So you're basically making a piece that looks like a sandwich, and then you got the little piece on the bottom there. But to make sure that that's connected, you gotta basically connect that to there first, and then you can connect this with the screws after, and then this whole piece should just go right into here like this with a little support piece underneath, and then you'd run a screw from the bottom into here, and then run a couple of screws from the side into here, and then that's your leg casing. When I am making this, basically you take the the one piece, you attach it, then your potential leg, which will be this size, and you put it there, and then you put another piece at the end, you sandwich it together, and then you drill in the other side. So you can remove that, so that when that is all attached like that, you're just putting the leg in, and then it basically the top of it sits against this piece here. So I've already got the first module done, because I wanted to make sure that it obviously does work and it does hold up. So I'll just grab one of my legs here, which are 4 feet long. I'm just going to show you. I mean, it'll go right in there. I only have one hand to do this, so it makes it a little bit tough, but you kind of get the gist of it. When you put the 2 legs in, you obviously want to measure it out and then put a cross piece so that the 2 legs are stuck together, and then they'll go into those 2 holes and they'll line up every single time, but not just with this one. You can take this set of legs here, put them up there, put them on this module at either end. This is the way I'm hoping everything goes, but you can never be too sure until you actually do it and try. So hopefully this works. Alright, real quick here. This is the one of the 3x3 modules. Did it the exact same. These are 5-inch pieces wide. I still have to do the leg bracings for the corners so I can put the legs in here. But I just wanted to show you that it's all squared off. It has the support pieces, and I'm ready for the foam. Okay, so then the last thing that you want to do here with your module, I went ahead and I made a template. This is what we used on Mark's layout. I know it looks all confusing and stuff, but it'll make sense once I explain it. So along with this, he actually made 2 guides here. One's for the left hand side, one's for the right hand side. We're measuring from the inside of the actual module, and this was clamped even. I can't really do it because it's standing up right now, but I clamped it even. Okay. And then I take this, and you'll see. Here. Okay. So the inside of the module. So if I'm looking at the module, that's the outside, that's the inside. So the inside has to be this way, the inside, and then the top. So basically, you've got that, and that would be like that, right on here. Then you drill 3 holes, a bolt hole, a power hole, and another bolt hole. There's obviously different ways that you can make these, but this is basically just the way I did it. So once you drill the 3 holes, you can see here, I made a bigger hole on both of these for the bolts, and then this is where your power is going to feed through, or any connecting wires that you'll have. So that's basically just the wire hole, basically. Okay, so now here's the thing. Now, in order to do the opposite side, we have to do the same thing but backwards. So he made one for the opposite side as well. We're still going to use the same template because it's basically the exact same thing, only reversed. So the part that says inside, which goes this way, will technically go this way, and it'll go up against that. And you'll notice that the up, or the top of the module is still here, only we're flipping it upside down. So you got to make sure you pay attention to that, because if you're drilling opposite holes or the same set on each side, they're not going to line up. So again, you're drilling, and then you do the big hole and 2 bolt holes, and then you're able to bolt them together. Okay, so as we can see here, I've got all the holes that are supposed to be drilled out, and got the washers, the wing nuts, and the bolts through, and they're all held together. Now, again, this is just a rough idea of how we're doing these modules, and you know, there's different ways that you can do it, but we're trying to keep a standard for what we're trying to achieve here, so that we're both on the same page. Now, because Mark has he has 2x4 modules, which are fine, so all those are drilled the same. I have these 3x3 modules here. They're drilled a little bit differently. Again, because it is a 3x3, if it's going into the 2x4, obviously it's going to keep the same hole span. But this particular module here is going to be an end module. So you'll see that there's a big hole, and it's not in the center because obviously the cross beam here. There's a bolt hole there and a bolt hole there. So once I expand and I have another one of these on the other side, that's going to line up with that one, and these two will be, be able to attach. I made a specific setup for this, like a template for this one here, so that's okay. I'll be using that one just for those. But as for the rest of them, I've got them all set up here. All legs are on. As you can see, I have some foam already, but not all of it. They're all bolted together, ready to go. This one, even though it's a 3x3, it's actually a middle module. It's a middle big module, because I didn't want there to be I think it's a 2 foot or 1 foot span between, no, it'll be a 2 foot span between each module, or the whole thing. So I'm putting connecting modules in the middle, just to brace it a bit more in the middle, so they're not bowing outward. But I'm still gonna have just these regular 2x4 bolt holes here, just to match up, so that I can put more of these continuing on. Now, because of the setup I have here, I'm just working on this for now, but this will eventually get turned around and pushed right up against this wall here. But that's once I'm done, obviously, doing the track, doing the wiring, all the foam, and maybe even a good portion of the scenery. I've got lots to do here, so I'm in no rush. And I'll still be able to run trains once there's tracks on here. Maybe a very short back and forth, but we've got a good 14 feet. This is exactly 14 feet here that I have set up. Just to see if I can get that all in the picture. I don't think I'll be doing anything particular with the wood framing here. I'm going to try to keep that normal. Same thing down with that end there. I just wanted to do something fancy for these two because of the train station that's going to be there. Unless I come up with something a little bit different for this one. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll definitely obviously let you know when I do. So there you have it. All legs are on. I didn't really make any leg braces yet. It's not a huge deal. It's not a big importance right now, but because everything's so sturdy, just pop the legs in, pop the legs out. I've got my little carpet keepers on the bottom there, so I don't scuff up the carpet with them, make any pulls. Very happy about this. Now that the first part of my bench work is done. Pilotage, more nails. Go back here a bit more. You're going to see this big parking garage. So I've got the section where the train's going to go.